concept, right? The Pea-Watermelon concept. I want you to picture a gigantic watermelon, biggest watermelon you've ever seen, sitting on a table, and then a single pea out of the pod pressed up against the bottom of that watermelon. I want you to think about that for a minute in real terms. Now, if that watermelon had eyes and could see, so big and so round, looming over that single little pea, then that watermelon could certainly look down and behind and to the sides, underneath of that little pea. That watermelon sees the whole thing. But if the tiny single pea had eyes and could see, how much of that watermelon is he going to be able to grasp? You know, maybe like this much? Certainly not the top, certainly not the side, certainly not the back. Right? We're the pea brain. God's the watermelon. Now, the analogy doesn't go far enough because God is infinitely bigger than a watermelon, but this could help young people to understand. This is all we are compared to him. And I don't see the whole picture. But you know how much of the picture God has allowed me to see? This much. Right here. This much. And the very people who complain that they can't figure out God are the ones who don't even read and try to understand what he's already given. And I want you to know something. If I, as a human being, could explain everything about God, if I could give the reason behind everything that happens in the world and everything that God allows and does, if I could explain God, then I would have to be as big as he is. If I could wrap my mind around God's mind, think about this for just a second, then my mind would be at least as big as God's mind. And you would have God here standing in front of you. And that is the biggest joke. Who would want to serve and worship a God that humans could totally figure out? Because then he wouldn't be God. By very definition, the supernatural creator God of the universe has to be infinitely greater than us because he is the uncreated one. From him came time, space, and matter. Out of nothing but his word.